Clara had always been a free spirit, someone who embraced life with the intensity of a whirlwind. From a young age, she sought the thrill of adrenaline and the excitement of challenges. Her life was a constant quest for new experiences, and nothing pleased her more than exploring the unknown, alone. For her, solitude wasn't a burden, it was an opportunity to dive into life's most vibrant moments. Her passion for adventure took her to remote and thrilling places. Clara wasn't the type to settle for leisurely strolls in parks or lazy afternoons on the beach. No, she wanted to feel her heart race, her breath become a challenge. Traveling solo was more than a choice, it was a necessity, a way to connect with the world in its purest form. So it was that, on a day that promised to be just another adventure, Clara met her fate. Paddling alone in a canoe amid the vast blue of the ocean, tranquility gave way to a sudden storm. The sea, which had once seemed calm and inviting, turned into a massive whirlpool of furious waves. The canoe capsized, and Clara found herself fighting against the relentless force of the water, with no one nearby to help. Her life, marked by bold decisions and constant challenges, was about to be tested in a way she could never have imagined. The perfect setup for an unexpected encounter, a twist in the plot of her solitary journey. And this is where the story truly begins to take shape, in the vastness of the sea, where luck and fate intertwine in surprising ways. The sky, which had recently seemed a serene blanket over the ocean, was now painted with dark and threatening hues. The sea, which had once embraced Clara with a calm hug, transformed into a raging monster, with its waves becoming towering walls of water that seemed intent on swallowing everything in their path. Clara, amidst that liquid expanse, felt the first sign that something was terribly wrong, a violent gust of wind that made the canoe sway like a leaf. Water started pouring into the canoe, and Clara struggled to keep her balance, her hands gripping the sides of the boat. The storm seemed to have a life of its own, with lightning slashing through the sky and thunder roaring like enraged beasts. The canoe, unable to withstand the force of the waves, began to tilt dangerously. Clara tried everything to stabilize it, but it was like fighting a hurricane with a spoon. With a final crash, the canoe overturned, and Clara was thrown into the churning sea. The shock of the cold water was a punch to the gut, and fear, like an invisible monster, tightened around her heart. The vastness of the ocean surrounded her, and Clara found herself struggling to keep her head above water, as the waves tossed her from side to side. Each breath was a battle, each movement a desperate effort not to drown. She tried in vain to see something familiar, a light, a sign of rescue. Her thoughts were a whirlwind of desperation and desolation. As someone who had always faced adventures with courage, she was now confronting an enemy that seemed invincible. "I can't die here," Clara thought, her mind racing in a frenzy. "I have to survive." The sea was now in full fury, the waves seeming to drag Clara down. Desperation mixed with determination. Clara tried to swim, but each stroke felt like a titanic effort against the overwhelming power of the waters. Her strength was waning, and the reality of imminent danger was becoming ever clearer. In a sudden moment of calm, between one thunderclap and another, Clara looked up and saw the shadow of a vessel in the distance. Hope began to sprout amidst the despair. But before she could grasp it, a new thought struck her: what if it's too late? The storm showed no mercy, and fate seemed to hang by a thread. Every second felt like an eternity, and Clara knew that at any moment, the struggle could end. She needed a miracle, and the sea, relentless and indifferent, didn't seem willing to provide one. As Clara fought against the raging sea, hope seemed like a tenuous thread about to snap. Then, as if from a fairy tale, a light shone through the storm. A rescue vessel, sturdy and resilient, emerged from the chaos. At its helm was Jonas, a man with unwavering determination and eyes that seemed to reflect both the stormy sky and hope. Jonas, an experienced sailor and sea lover, was on a routine mission to inspect a maritime research platform. His passion for the ocean had led him to make a crossing that day, right when the storm was forming. Initially, He hadn't planned to go on any rescue missions, but an instinctive feeling made him alter his course and approach the area where the storm raged most fiercely. It was as if the sea itself was calling him to act. Visibility was almost nil, and the noise of the waves was deafening, but Jonas, guided by an almost supernatural sense of urgency, managed to locate Clara amid the tumultuous waves. He signaled to his team and quickly threw a life jacket to her, his voice cutting through the sound of the sea with surprising clarity, despite the storm. Clara, exhausted and with her muscles in agony from the cold, clung to the life jacket like a lifeline. With impressive strength and skill, Jonas managed to pull her to the safety of the vessel. The relief on Clara's face was palpable, and her words of thanks came out in breathless, tearful gasps. "I thought I wasn't going to make it." The impact of the rescue was profound. Clara felt an intense gratitude, almost impossible to put into words. Jonas, for his part, saw in Clara not just a survivor, but a soul in desperate need of help. They were linked by a moment that seemed to transcend time and space. The bond formed there, in the heat of the rescue, was instantaneous and palpable. Jonas was there not by chance, but by a combination of instinct and luck. He felt an almost immediate connection with Clara, a mutual understanding that seemed to unite their life stories in an instant. Clara, though exhausted and frightened, felt a renewed trust in human kindness and courage. The rescue was not just a physical act but a profound interaction, where emotions and fate met at a crucial turning point. As the sea began to calm and the sun slowly returned, Clara and Jonas shared a silence laden with meaning. At that moment, the storm was no longer just a challenge to be overcome but an experience that united them forever. The connection forged in the heat of the moment was the beginning of a friendship that would grow and develop, born from the unexpected miracle that had brought them together. After the rescue, Clara and Jonas's relationship began to unfold in unexpected ways. The vessel that had saved them was still heading towards a safe harbor, and as the sea calmed, Clara and Jonas started to talk, tentatively at first, about what had happened. Wrapped in a warm blanket and holding a cup of tea, Clara looked at Jonas with a mix of relief and curiosity. Noticing Clara's shaken state, Jonas made sure to be available and understanding. He started the conversation casually, asking about her previous adventures and what had driven her to face such a fierce storm alone. Clara, relieved to finally have someone to share her experience with, told him about her passion for challenges and her relentless pursuit of adrenaline. She spoke about her travels, the moments of exhilaration, and why she found solitude so comforting. Jonas listened attentively, understanding that Clara was a fearless soul, but also vulnerable. He shared stories from his own life at sea, his adventures and challenges. Each tale offered a glimpse into his life, showing Clara a side of Jonas beyond just the rescuer. Their connection deepened as they discovered shared interests and experiences, mixing laughter with profound reflections. Over time, their meetings became more frequent and their conversations more meaningful. Clara began visiting Jonas on his coastal trips, and they explored new destinations together, not just as friends, but as adventure companions. Their friendship evolved from simple gratitude to a genuine bond. They shared dreams, fears, and hopes, finding comfort and inspiration in each other. Every new experience together, from seaside hikes to long conversations under the stars, solidified the friendship that began with an act of courage. Clara and Jonas became confidants and mutual supporters, knowing that the storm that brought them together had also laid a solid foundation for something deeper. What started with a simple rescue was now a testament to how life can surprise and connect people in ways beyond expectation. As time passed, what had begun as a moment of desperation transformed into a deep and meaningful friendship. Clara and Jonas discovered that the true value of that storm wasn't just in survival but in the unexpected connection it brought to light. The sea, which had been the backdrop of their struggle, was now the stage for a friendship that seemed destined to flourish, nurtured by shared experiences and mutual support.